Good day, mates. Just a very brief introduction to say hello. Welcome to a comparison video with Aziza. That's me, aka Gourmet Pens, and we are going to do basically a desk down video of these pens. Actually, it's actually only these pens, but I just threw this in just because I had it in the same pen case because they're all the same manufacturer. Now, these are the Leonardo Furores, and these are the MomentoZeros. And as you can see, they're a little bit different, but I thought there's a bit of a price difference on them. The materials are a little bit different. The nibs are the same type of nib, but they all have different nibs. So I just wanted to like show you the pens in hand on the desk so you can see them in a little more detail and how they write. So I've got the gold stub, the steel stub, a steel broad, and a steel extra fine. So let's take a look at these, and hopefully, like, if you're interested in them, it'll help you make a decision between the model you might want, maybe even the nib you might want, the finishes. I've only got three finishes. I just have 5 pens because there's something wrong with me. One of everything-itis, or 2, or 3, or 5. So I'll see you in like a second. Hello, welcome to this video, which I hope I'm having trouble speaking. Welcome to this video. You have not seen my face. I am Aziza, aka Gourmet Pens, but you probably recognize my hands, maybe. The background, possibly. The very non-generic Rhodia dot pad. I thought I would do a short video to show you the differences between the Leonardo Furore and the MomentoZeros. So the reason I wanted to do this is because when I first saw the Furore, I completely fell in love with them, and I was like, oh my god, I love the shape of the pen, and they look so amazing. And then he released the Hawaii, and I fell in love with that. And I'm really lucky I got a really nice, I guess, rod of the resin. And then the Sea Rock finish, or Pietra Marina, is gorgeous, and these are the same color. This is supposed to be called Emerald Blue, I believe, which makes no sense to me because I don't know what I would actually call these otherwise. I guess like turquoise. Anyway, I just wanted to show you the pens. So let me just pull 2 of these out of the way. You know what? This one's got more contrast, so let's do that. The Furore is like torpedo shaped, and the MomentoZero has these like conical tops. Everything is super smooth, super rounded. There you go in terms of a bit of size difference. They have the same clip, they've got the same center band, same rings. They're both engraved on the barrels. I don't know if there you go. You can see they're both engraved on the barrels. So really the difference is the shape of the pen, and and of course the prices. So the Furore, I'm just going to quote you steel prices just so it's easier to compare steel nib prices. Without VAT, it's $178, and for the MomentoZero, it's like $148. So there is a bit of a price difference. The gold nibs add, I think, like 100 and something euros. Anyway, you can look that up yourself. I've got 2 steel nibs right here, and this Furore has a gold nib. So the sections are the exact same. They both fill by cartridge converter. They've got the blind, it's a captured converter. I think that's what they're called, yeah. So you can either open up the whole barrel, actually let me open the whole barrel on this one, and ink, or you can do it just like that. Personally, I actually prefer to open the whole barrel. I like to see what's going on in my converter as I'm inking. So let me put that back on. But I think it's a cute touch if you're into that. The Furore, in terms of like hand fit, fits perfectly fine for me. Sorry, I'm trying to zoom out, not in. Perfectly comfortable for me. Too far. Unposted. Here it is posted. It's still comfortable. It's not super heavy. I find it quite usable, but in terms of like how easy it is to wield, I prefer it unposted. Here is the MomentoZero. This one just feels better to me. I really like the shape of it. It just, I don't know, it just clicks with me better. So there you go. Let me see, nothing on the finials, as I recall. The clips, they're rolly clips. They're pretty snug, but you can lift them. So functionally, they're basically the same pen. It's just a bit of a different design. and they come in different finishes and colors, so it really depends on what you're looking for. The Furore, sorry, you can get gold nibs for both, but I only have steel nibs on both of my MomentoZeros, and I have gold nibs on both, on this Furore. So I thought I would just do writing samples of the gold stub, the steel stub, a steel extra fine, and a steel broad, just for fun, so you can see what they're like. I like how they perform, so let's go in this order. We're gonna, now I can zoom in, not that far, sorry. About there. Okay, so we have the Leonardo. This is not going to be like extensive writing or anything, just show you a little. MomentoZero. This is the Pietra Marina. It has a steel extra fine. I realize I wrote extra fine steel. It's actually a truly lovely extra fine. It has a little bit of give to it, so you can squeeze out a bit of line variation. I don't know if you can see it from this distance. Yeah, there you go. Really pleasant writer. And you know how I feel about extra fines, and I actually really like it. In fairness, it's more like a fine medium. It's not really extra fine, but I think it's really nice. Now, I've heard from friends, actually I've heard from like 2 people who had issues with their pens not working and not writing. I have actually 5 of these pens, and they all have performed like completely flawlessly for me. So, I don't know. My experiences have been really positive with these pens, and I've also used several that belong to friends, other friends who, not these friends who had issues with theirs, but other friends who didn't have issues with theirs. And they, like, theirs worked really well too. So, I don't know. I'm just reporting my experience. So I've used I have 5 of them, and I've used probably 10 in total, and they've all worked really well for me. So I'm always surprised when someone says theirs didn't work well. So I'm just telling you that for me, they worked really well, and I'm really happy with them. I got mine from Casa, della Stilografica, which is stilografica.it. Got a discount code for them if you want. I'll put the link below with the discount code, so you can check them out if you like. Leonardo, MomentoZero. This is the Hawaii with the chrome trim. Broad steel. I love this broad steel. It is also a bit bouncy. You can also get a little bit more line variation, squeeze out a bit more ink. Another thing I should point out is I've had these pens inked for, sorry, I'm just changing that exposure for you. Sun came out again. I've had these pens inked for like a month and a half, and I've refilled them a few times using the same inks, but I have not touched them in about 3 weeks, and they're working, so that's awesome. Okay, now we are switching over to the Furores. So this is the Leonardo. No, not the, shoot. Sorry, I just said it. Leonardo Furore. This is the emerald blue finish. It is not the turquoise. The turquoise is actually celluloid, so it is different. This is the steel stub. It is definitely a stub. Not italic, it's not sharp on the corners, but really gorgeous line variation. So I'm going to write something that I think will be legible. No guarantees. X-nay on the legible. Yeah. So this was supposed to be not hideous, and here we are. Hideous. Super fun for hand lettering, because again, like these two up here, it's got a bit of bounce to it, so it feels really good to write with. These are some of my favorite steel nibs. Like, I really like them. Really well tuned. Look, you can see the nib bends a little. I'm not saying flex, it's just bending. But superb line variation, really well tuned, really well adjusted. If I recall correctly, one of my friends who had issues with theirs, he said his was a stub and it was quite dry. But I mean, a dry nib is super easy to tune, right? So I get dry nibs all the time, and then some of my friends like them because they like dry writers. I hate dry writers, so I always tune them up. Hello, Jello. Okay, so that's the stub. It's a pretty wide stub. I think it's 1.3 millimeters. And that's the steel one. And now the gold stub, I believe, is 1.1 millimeters. So let's do... Yeah, you could definitely see a difference in the size there. Furore. Sorry, I keep writing Momento. It's just... whatever. This is also the... emerald blue. I know my handwriting's hideous. I'm basically perched on a ledge and I'm writing around a tripod, so you're just gonna have to deal with it. The stub is really nice. The gold stub is really nice. It is a 14 karat gold, a little bit of spring to it, and by spring I mean it'll yield a little bit so it doesn't feel like a super nail. I really like it. The line variation on this one is not as crisp as it is with the steel, surprisingly. Well, I guess not really surprisingly, it's got more tipping. This one's got tipping and the steel does not, so of course you get less line variation with the one that's tipped because it's not filed down to be super thin. I really like it though. I'm a big fan, and if that makes me biased, then so be it. I really like them. I'm just sharing with you in case you wanted to see the difference between some of the nibs and the two models, and I hope it was useful. If I had to pick my favorite nib, like, it's really tough. It would be down to your budget. I definitely prefer the MomentoZero model over the Furore, and if I had to pick a steel nib, I would go with the broad, obviously, or the stub. Oh, man, I couldn't pick. That's why I have so many of them, because I couldn't pick. So, there we go. Lovely. Okay, I'm going to wrap up. I don't want to drag on and bore the pants off you. Thank you. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this was useful. If it was, I would be super grateful if you would like and subscribe, because that helps me know that you're enjoying it. Please check out Casa, della Stilografica, because they sent me a bunch of these pens, and I'm really grateful because I could share them with you. Some were gifts and some were not, so gifts from other people, not just Stilografica. Anyway, I'm rambling. Check them out, and if you would like to use the discount, go right ahead. It would be super fun for you, and I don't get commission just sharing it with you. So that's everything. Oh, back for a second before I forget. The ink, all the blues, is actually Leonardo blue ink, which is absolutely stunning, and I'm crazy about it. And the yellow is my favorite go-to, PV Ackerman Gele Oker van France. So there you go. If you did not know that yellow, you probably don't know me very well, but I would highly recommend checking out this blue. It's beautiful. There you go. Okay, bye. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, and Patreon as Gourmet Pens, and on social media otherwise as Toronto Pen Company. So that's everything. We'll see you next time.